Colonel of the sovereign state of Akompong. A couple months back, I had done a video on maroons, and I was in Moortown specifically, and now we're heading into Akompong. And who better to talk to us about Akompong than the future colonel himself? I'm speaking it into being, manifesting it. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Awesome. So, let's start with who are the maroons? I know a lot of persons hear the word, box around it all over the place. We don't really know. We know something have to do with British, we know something to do with Jamaican culture. But I feel like people don't really know. And especially from the last video that I did, I realized that people are really unaware of our history and our culture. So I would like to enlighten them. Like, who are the maroons? Explain in your terms, who are the maroons?
Well, let me start by saying there have been many interpretations as to who the maroons are. And it has grounds within the period of slavery. And a lot of the takes that people, portray are also things they've gone onto the internet and pulled down from various sources, some of which, we're really not sure in terms of credibility.
I know Wikipedia sometimes have a story. Many versions.
There are many versions to the story of the maroons. But
yeah.
Who are the maroons? The maroons are a combination of Africans, indigenous Indians, and runaway slaves. Right? So it's a combination because we have the Tainos who inhabited the island pre-Columbian period.
Yeah.
So we hear Christopher Columbus discovered Jamaica. You didn't hear who he found here. Right? The Taino Indians were here. And when the Spanish came to Jamaica, they brought the first set of slaves who were prisoners of war. Right? These were called the Moors. The Moors once ruled Europe. Right? They were powerful, mighty warriors. And when they were overcome by the Spanish, they launched the conquistador, which essentially moving to the west to find new territories, new lands. And essentially, when the Spanish came here, these first set of slaves, the Moors, were the ones who were working the fields, working the plantations.
They're called the Moors?
They're called the Moors, right? And it's a term used to describe these warriors. It wasn't essentially a race of people, right? But they were well advanced in various areas of navigation, warfare, architecture. These guys were very advanced. And the Moors were captured, taken here, and forced to work on the plantations. Now, when the British came and overthrew the Spanish, there was a war, and several of these plantations were demolished, and a lot of the slaves at the time who were Moors left and fled for the hills.